I now call to order the City Council meeting of Monday, December 20th, 2021. It is now 7:01 p.m. Opening prayer, Jane. Our heads.
Dear Lord, as we begin this term on council, grant us wisdom, work of our fellow neighbors, our friends, our constituents. Give us the wisdom to do that. And please, as we are tonight all feeling the effects of the pandemic, watch over those that aren't able to be with us tonight, and your strength, help them recover. And I thank you so very much for everything, Lord, as I'm sure everybody else here. And
Amen.
United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ben, would you please call the roll?
Member McLeaster?
Here.
Member Wyrick?
Here.
Member Warren?
Here.
Member Stroya?
Here.
Member Matheny?
Here.
Member Orr?
Here.
And Member Volt is absent, 6 present.
Motion to excuse Member Revolt.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
For consideration, I have a motion and a second to approve as presented items 5A through 5D minutes.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
6-0. Motion and second to amend item 5E to correct Martin Van Gundy III to Martin Van Gundy IV.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Marty, is that your dad? Motion and second to approve as amended the minutes for December 1st, 2021.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Motion and second to approve as presented items 5F through 5N.
Make an investment, 5F, financial reports. Totals, October. Motion that 5F, financial.
Make the motion to amend first, pass that, then approve.
So moved.
Wait a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
5F.
Wait a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Collectively. Motion, a second to approve 5G, 5N.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. A recognition of the public. At this time, those individuals wishing to address City Council, please approach the podium. Please begin by stating your name and address for the record. As a reminder, each individual will have 5 minutes, and the rules are on the screen.
Chuck Osborne, 307 Fairview Street, Southeast, North Canton, Ohio. I am speaking tonight regarding recent actions and policy decisions to no longer videotape meetings of City Council and meetings of the city's boards and commissions. Citizens need to understand and trust actions of North Canton City government, and videotaping of public meetings allows the public an invaluable view of government proceedings. From my vantage point, over nearly 20 years, North Canton City government has always been slow to adapt new technology that allows its citizens to become more knowledgeable of the actions that their government enacts. And I offer 2 such examples. My first example is in regards to internet access to the agendas and minutes of City Council. In the creation of my website in 2003, when I ran for mayor, I included the posting of agendas and minutes of City Council. The city did not post council agendas and minutes for public access on the internet until 2006, 3 years after I initiated that practice. That website is still active after 18 years and archives agendas and minutes of City Council for the years 2001 through 2007. The same scenario occurred with the videotaping of public meetings. On January 11th, 2016, I videotaped my first North Canton City government meeting and posted it on YouTube for citizens to watch. Interestingly, current Councilmember McLeister spoke at that public speech at that meeting. From January 2016 through late 2019, I videotaped a total of 186 public meetings of North Canton government. Noted on my YouTube page is this statement: the video recordings have been independently recorded by Chuck Osborne as a service to the residents of North Canton and at no expense to the taxpayers of North Canton. North Canton City Hall has expended large sums of taxpayer dollars to acquire the needed equipment to videotape meetings. Late in 2016, after I had been videotaping meetings at City Hall and posting them to the YouTube for residents, City Council began videotaping their own meetings. Approximately $6,000 of public tax dollars were spent to place a video camera above the entry door in the old council chamber to achieve this task. In 2019, meetings of City Council were moved to the Civic Center, and $143,313.60 were appropriated for this relocation. Promises were made that both video and audio of the meetings would be stellar. In a March 18, 2019 memo, some of the equipment that was listed for purchase to accomplish video and audio recordings of public meetings included 24 data switches, new wiring, a server, new AV equipment, new HD video projector, HDMI wireless display system, and a new digital signal processor, rewiring of ceiling speakers, and a new Bluetooth receiver. And now, 2 years later, council chambers are being relocated yet again. A member of this council has told me that videotaping of public meetings will be discontinued. Is the previously purchased videotaping equipment now to sit on a shelf to gather dust? What is the cost for this latest moving and outfitting of yet another room for public meetings? Last week's council meeting was not videotaped. Citizens were left with only an audio recording of the meeting. This is unacceptable. Would any of you go to a movie theater to simply listen to the audio track of the movie? Citizens need to see the active workings of their government body. This builds a level of trust that their government is transparent and truly working on their behalf. Each and every one of you, city officials, should want to encourage citizens' understanding of the workings of their government and endeavor to include citizen participation in their democracy. Videotaping of city council meetings, as well as the meetings of its boards and commissions, is the bare minimum that must take place. Please ensure that videotaping of government in action continues. I would like to add, it's mind-boggling in this age of COVID that you would move from a larger room where you could have social distancing to a room of this size. I've seen master bedrooms in upscale houses bigger than this room. And it's obvious you're not going to put a video camera in here. A person doesn't have to be very sharp to realize that. This is the wrong move. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak? Continuing on with old business. I'm going to ask for a motion and a second to rearrange the agenda and begin with items 8C, O, E, and a matter relating to the opioid settlement. If I can get a motion and a second to read those first.
Could you state that again? We're going to start
We're going to start with 8C, then 8O, and 8P, following with another legislation relating to opioids. So it'll be on the
Perfect. Okay.
service. Can I get a motion and a second? sir?
Yeah, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so we will start with okay, so this is the appointment of the Charter Advisory Board. Chairman Orr, I understand that you wish to postpone the item in favor of legislation amending the Charter Advisory timeline. To that end, may I have a motion and second to suspend Council Rule 24 to allow consideration of what will be Ordinance 2022, amending the charter advisory process without a committee report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carries. I get a motion and a second to read by title only, Ordinance 12/2022.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carries.
An ordinance amending North Canton City Ordinance 65-2021 in order to adjust the timeline for the Charter Advisory Board and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Had to make it an emergency.
Wait a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We get a motion and a second to adopt the first reading of Ordinance 12/2022. Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carries. All opposed, sorry. Can I get a motion and a second to suspend the rules of council requiring 3?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carries. Motion and a second to adopt Ordinance 12/2022 under suspension of the rules.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to 8O. Sorry. Going to get a motion, a second to read by title only Resolution 10/2022.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
A resolution approving the collective bargaining agreement between the City of North Canton Professional Firefighter and Paramedic Association as negotiated by the Department of Administration, declaring the same to be an emergency.
Just last week. Yes. Actually, it was a win for all parties involved and the residents. Canton. This original contract expires in pass this emergency so that our fire and EMS. Questions, concerns? We went through all of the items that were.
Adopt.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion and a second to adopt the first reading of Resolution 10/2022.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion is second to suspend the rules of council requiring 3 readings.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Finally, motion and a second to adopt Resolution 10/22 under suspension of the rules.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to 8P. I get a motion and a second to read by title only, Ordinance 11/2022.
We need to suspend Council Rule 24.
Oh, sorry. Yep. We have a motion and a second to suspend Council Rule 24 to allow consideration of what will be Ordinance 11/2020 regarding the 10th Street Sanitary Project without a committee.
So moved.
All in favor? Opposed? Carries. Motion is second to read by title only, Ordinance 11/2020.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Ordinance authorizing the Director of Administration of the City of North Canton to advertise and receive bids according to specifications now on file in the Director's office, and authorizing the mayor, upon Board of Control approval, to enter into a contract for the 10th Street Northeast Sanitary Sewer Replacement Project at a cost not to exceed $1,050,000 and declaring the same to be emergency.
All right, well, this item was discussed previously before council, and I believe it was actually in the budget for this year. And we're trying to get this passed on emergency so the city can go out and start receiving bids in a more timely manner. And I don't know, Patrick, if you had anything else to add?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, if you wouldn't mind, I could add some quick color here.
Perfect.
The project begins at the North Main Street, 10th Street Northeast intersection, proceeds east approximately 1,800 linear feet, where 10th Street ends and becomes the north entrance main driveway to the high school. There's two major project components. The first is the replacement of the old 8-inch diameter clay sanitary sewer system, which was installed in 1947. As extreme sediment has caused many dips in this system, which conveys the sewage from the high school in the adjacent area. The second component is the complete reconstruction of the roadway, as the existing roadway pavement and base material has failed. Base material, curb and gutter was installed in 1975. This will be completely removed. Project length is approximately 1,800 linear feet. With the right-of-way, the width is 50 feet.
Thank you so much for that description, Patrick. With that, I move that we adopt this.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion and a second to adopt the first reading of 11?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Get a motion and a second to suspend the rules of council requiring 3 readings.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Motion and a second to adopt ordinance 11/2022 under the suspension of the rules.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 13. So I.
So, second.
Favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So now we will go back to beginning of old business. Back to 7A. I get a motion and a second to include ordinance 70/2021 in the public hearing scheduled for January 24th, 2020.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Please. Get a motion and second to postpone ordinance 70/2021 until after the public hearing.
So moved.
Favor? Opposed? On to 7B. Get a motion and second to include ordinance 72/2021, public hearing scheduled for January 24th, 2020.
Second.
Favor? Opposed? Carries. We have a motion and a second to postpone ordinance 72/2021 until after the public hearing.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Opposed? On to new business. Council must at this time make several appointments to various boards and commissions. I previously asked you to submit nominations electronically to the clerk for review. Personnel and Safety Committee Chair and Vice Chair, or in the case of the Charter Review, the Ordinance Committee Chair and Vice Chair. Council is filling one vacancy on the Civil Service Commission for a 6-year term. Chairman Matheny, who have you identified from the submitted nomination?
We have a nomination of Alice Stevens on that service board. A longtime resident of North Canton. She's in her of being the Clerk of State College, her second year as chair. She's also the current chair of the Ohio Association of Colleges Governing Board. Also chaired the Safety Committee of North Canton Area Chamber of Commerce, programs for organization. She has been talked to, she has agreed to fill this vacancy and well qualified to that. Her for that position and job. Questions, concerns, I would make a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Council is filling 2 vacancies on the Board for Tax Review your term. Karen Matheny identified any nomination.
So we have 4 individuals. That I think we narrowed that down to 2. Fortunately, I am not familiar with either individuals. President or are and cover their background. How we chose.
I'd like to recommend Beth Weltman, who is an attorney. In your he's been a member of the committee for several years. Focuses on disability security law.
I'd like to nominate Dave.
Can you speak up?
Dave King, that better. Local business owner for a few years. Big guy.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're on the council must select one of its own members to serve as a representative. I wish to nominate myself. Are there any other nominations? Or previously on the commission and the ZBOA form.
I would be honored to second that as the former chairman of the, or make that motion as the former chairman of the planning commission. I think it's great to see Mr. Stroya attend the meetings on a very regular basis, so definitely make the motion.
All in favor? Opposed? Carries. On to E. Council must select one of its own members to serve as a representative to the ZBOA. I wish to nominate myself. Are there any other nominations?
We name Matt Stroya to the zoning board of standards of appeals as a council designation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on to H. Motion to second to read by title only, ordinance 122. Favor?
An ordinance amending Chapter 159, Records and Archives Commission, specifically Section 159.01, Commission created, member of the codified ordinances of North Canton to adjust the membership thereof.
This was with the different state laws and stuff, we just something.
Talked about it in committee, so.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to 8. Motion and second to read by title only, ordinance Q.
So moved.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Ordinance amending chapter 741, adult cabaret businesses of the codified ordinances of the city of North Canton to update the definition of adult cabaret.
On the committee, we updated, some of the wording and it's quite clear now.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item H, get a motion and a second to read by title only, or dash 20.
So moved.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
An ordinance amending chapter 1739, violations and abatement of the codified ordinances of the city of North Canton, specifically section 1739.01 and 1739.03, to allow for the expedited abatement of noxious weeds and rank vegetation.
As in the past, the nuisance officer would go out, write a citation, give, owner another 30 months, probably get worse. We're looking at, I think, Ben, what is it, 8? On that, so
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Okay, moving on to 8I. Can I get a motion and a second to read by title only, ordinance 4, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of North Canton to release the maintenance bond agreement between the city and McKinley Apple Grove Limited regarding improvements to be maintained in the sanctuary development phase 4.
This is my committee. The requirements to release the bond have been fulfilled. We discussed this with Rob, gave the process goes and what they've done. Favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Get a motion and a second to read by title on ordinance 5. Favor? Opposed? Carries back.
An ordinance amending chapter 907, street excavation of the codified ordinances of the city of North Canton in order to establish separate processes for minor and major street excavation.
Also my committee. This was discussed in previous council meeting and brought back to the, and we were now separating the minor and major street roads. Really good legislation. I'm glad we brought it back to clarify the. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A. A motion and a second to instruct the City Council to make an application for ordinance.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Make it a motion and a second to postpone ordinance 6/2022 until planning commission recommendation.
Second.
Favor? Opposed? Carries. Moving on to 8.1 through 8.3, we're actually going to combine these items together. So this will be ordinances 9, 2020, 7, 2020. Chairman Revolt, although he couldn't be here today, has asked me, it is a courtesy that we send this legislation to the planning commission for comment. I have a motion and a second to instruct the clerk of council to request the planning commission review comment on ordinance 7, 2022, 820.
So, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I get a motion and a second to postpone ordinance 7, 2022, 920 till our next meeting in order to allow the planning commission opportunity.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Is there any new business? Moving on to department reports. Patrick?
Yes, thank you. We've had a bit of fair weather of late, and the Dogwood Park project is nearing completion. We will probably leave the fence up, construction fence up over the winter. We've had some COVID pandemic, global supply chain disruption on the restroom facility. So the restroom facility manufacturer has told us that they will be reaching out to us in January to let us know when they think they have a ship date. The ship date may not be in January. It may be February, March, not quite sure yet. So this was a prefab unit. It was the least expensive way to go. What the city of Canton does, their park, so we were able to get a lot of good reference information on the vendors and that type of thing. So, but we're getting close. I wanted to just give you a quick synopsis on the Dogwood pool season. Met with the management of the pool, the Y, and for 2021, we're going to show a net surplus of about $75,000. And then that money will be split between the city's general fund and the Dogwood Pool Capital Reserve account. You may not be aware, but about 3 or 4 years ago, we adopted a policy to take a portion of the profits, if there are any, net surplus, and pool it and be able to use it to do the Dogwood Pool gatehouse renovation, reconstruction, everything. So, as you know, we've applied to the state of Ohio for a capital grant for this particular project, and then some of the funds that we've been pooling will come into play there. Now, in last year, in the COVID year, we netted out about $1,200. It was a tough year. The year before, though, in 2019, was about $135,000, to give you an idea. So, working our way back, it should be noted that the management was very pleased that the highest number of season passes were sold in the program's history. Only 3,488 passes. So, a good year over there. And you may recall a couple months back now, I think, I mentioned to City Council that we were reviewing some of the policy procedures activities that we do and assessing whether or not it makes sense to continue doing them. This is something that I've been doing since 2017. And it's become very clear that as it relates to wedding events at the Civic Center, this is a practice that we would exit. So for 2022, we will honor all weddings that have been booked, which is pretty much the whole year. But as we go into 2023, we would like to exit this practice. What we have found is that 85% of the rentals are to individuals not from this community. They don't have a vested interest in the preservation of the condition of this facility. And we end up experiencing a number of damage claims that are underneath our deductible that we then have to eat. We recently, last year, mid-year, raised the damage deposit. Had certainly a financial benefit to us, but it didn't dissuade the activity. $1,000 deposit just seems to be like a license to come in and tear the place up, at least for a lot of the weddings. So alcohol is a factor. We don't have control over who the guests are. And in many cases, from what we found, neither does the bride and groom. And people are coming in and making it difficult. We do have private security that we contract with come in. They're not all of the same caliber. So we've been moving that contract around to try to make sure that we're getting people that actually show up and do their job. So all of this then ends up coming back to administration, where the administrative burden has to be factored in, as much like we did with Mayor's Court. Looks good on paper until you factor in the true cost, the administrative cost of everything. And for every insurance claim, for everything that we have to run down, that's bad enough. But weddings are a lot different than booking a senior citizen awareness event, medical event, something like that. With weddings, people want to come in, they want to see the facility multiple times. Setup of tables and chairs, and everything has to be just so, right. And then afterwards, cleaning up is always an issue. So it just, in looking at the analysis on it and comparing it to other places, we're woefully undercharging what we have found in other places. And so in light of that, it just makes more sense to kind of move this operation to a different venue, a different way. And one of the things that the mayor had asked me to do was to look into the feasibility of providing a senior citizen experience for residents in North Canton, a place where they can go to do various senior citizen activities. So we're difficult talking with this mask on. So we're reaching out to a number of entities that are engaged in activities that assist seniors to talk about some programming that we can put in place down here and be able to turn that into something that we can get actual residents from our community to be able to go in there without charge and be able to use the facility. So, that concludes my report.
No questions for, go ahead.
One question.
With the administration work and with the damage control and stuff, how profitable is it if we raised our prices to have weddings here?
Well, I don't know that we, can raise it to a price that can accurately reflect whether we're making any, break even on it. Because again, right now, I basically have, lost one of the administrative assistants to this function. And that, when they're not doing that, they're able to plug in and do some other things at City Hall, but it creates a difficulty, and it's not an area that is really something that we are experts in. We do have another facility at Arrowhead where people could go for weddings, but we're just not that venue. So, I mean, when we looked at it, our prices were, we were seeing prices that should have been like $2,500 as a rental compared to $900. Jump it to that level might, cut down on some of the rentals, but you're still going to be involved in it to the point of there's an administrative cost to this, and we have to recognize that. And it goes back to what we've been talking about the last couple of years. Policy, process, people, pay for it. Those 4 Ps. That hasn't been done in the past around here, is analyzing it from that standpoint. But when we do, in this particular case, it doesn't make sense.
And now, over at Arrowhead, would we have to provide the administrative person for that?
No, the management at Arrowhead is covered under a general management agreement for all functions and activities. So that would include the pool, golf, clubhouse activities is included.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you. Thank you, President Spring. Thank you for following up with that, Patrick. I appreciate the research that you put into that. I'd just like to share with council tonight that just going to give you a brief update on the 2021 master plan. We wanted to make a presentation, or I should say, the committee would like to make a presentation after the election. And they've 13 members are on the team, and I know the urban planning has been contact with about 15 companies or businesses for input, ideas, suggestions, changes, whatever you want to add on there to help present a roadmap for the city for the future. Compliments to our Clerk of Council for gathering data for that team. Appreciate the work that he has put in on that. Tentatively, there's going to be a public meeting, and that will be on Thursday, January 20th, 2022, from 6 to 7:30. That'll be open to the public and council. It'll be at Walsh University at the Barrett Center, BERRETT. And it's going to be an auditorium style. There won't be any tables or anything. It'll be come for presentation, general Q&A, question and answer type thing. And then the committee would like to present to council in February for review, resolution, acceptance, and at that time. However, I know the committee would like to present I'll just say like a hard copy to all of you for purview. And so I just want to bring you up to date that that team has been working, and that our urban planner is prepared, I think, a lengthy document for us to take a look at for the future of the city. Also, I would like to thank Amber Hassig. She is leaving the clerk's office. She's furthering her education, and I want to thank her for her time and work that she's added to not only the clerk's office, but for our city administration. A delightful person, very educated, very smart, and I'm sure she'll do well in the future with, I believe, Ben, correct me, law?
Akron Law.
Akron Law. Congratulations. Also want to thank our department heads and our supervisors, our city administration, really, for, again, not only the last challenging 2 years, during my time in office, that The adage of surrounding yourself with good people helps make the work go smooth. I think we've gone through the challenges that we've had in the last year as best as we could be. You know, there's always room for improvement, and I am excited for our future together, working with council and the projects that we have going forward. And I just think that it's going to be a very exciting year for us here. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of our hard work come to accomplishments for us. Also, final remark would be just, I wish all of you a safe and healthy holiday. And enjoy a little bit of time off if you can. Stay safe, stay well. And I thank you for the time tonight.
Thank
you.
Thank you. I want to just review a few things on the monthly report. Thank you for bringing to my attention that October should be November. I appreciate that, and I did make that correction. The income tax, if you look at the report that I handed out for November, it looks like we were ahead by 6.2%, but I wanted to remind you, where some of the COVID has changed a lot of the deadlines, a lot of extensions and refunds, and some companies have made their estimates, net profit estimates in 19 and in 20 and in 21. And some of those companies didn't survive and some did survive. And for whatever reasons, we've had their money through that time period. So we were made aware that we've had $475,000 of refunds that were applicable to the past 3 years. But you'll see those in December. That does sort of equate out our income tax. In 2018, it was right around 8 million. In 2019, it was 8 million, and in 2021, it'll be about 8.1 million. So we're pretty steady on that. It doesn't cause any alarms. In 2020, we showed 8.8 million. So we did have a very high year in 2020, but we had to refund some of that this year. So just to make you aware when you see final numbers next month, where that's coming from. And then I wanted to touch on our portfolio investments right now. The Fed does keep changing rates by a couple basis points, and we didn't expect any at all, but we did get a few. So Star Ohio was sitting at 0.09. That's our pretty safe and liquid money market account at the state level. So we also have an investment firm that we carry some money in some money markets, some CDs, some federal home loan agencies, some bank, those sorts of investments. And we were able to yield about a 1.54%. I know that's not exciting, but it's a little higher than 0.09. So we'll take that all day long. Our current duration of a portfolio is 2.36 years. So just to give you sort of an annualized update, what we're looking at going into next year. That concludes my report.
If I may, I would just like to address some of the comments about technology at City Council. 95% of all the equipment that was in the other room has come with us to this room. All of the money expended for this project was leftover money from this year's budget that was saved from other projects. And we are aware of some sound issues, but we've been working on them. We've even been working on them live during this meeting. I have people watching, and I've been making adjustments all meeting long. And lastly, I'd just like to address that the video, and we're slow on the uptake. We've been live streaming, at least according to our YouTube account, since 2013. I can tell you from the other clerks I've talked to during the pandemic last year, including 4 of whom that I taught to live stream, that we have been far ahead of the curve in doing this for so long. And I do understand that people like to see their council members, but we had record viewership while we were digital completely during the pandemic. And I got overwhelming feedback that people like to see what you all see on the screen. Because previously, when we were only showing the video of the room, people couldn't really tell what was on the screen that you all were looking at. And so we made the decision to prioritize what you all are looking at, because that's the information you're voting on, and that's the information that affects the public out there. That's all. Thank you very much.
Let's go to full reports. Okay. All right. I really don't have anything other than to echo what the mayor said. I want to wish everybody a happy Christmas, happy New Year, and look forward to getting things started in 2022.
As chairperson of personnel and safety, I don't know if everybody is on the website and our website and book page, but a couple of shout outs that I'd like to make. So Officer Matthew King of the police department graduated as a certified drug recognition expert. That took place in late November. Officer King completed 3 phases of this program with high marks, was named valedictorian of his class with a grade point average of 99.14. The program was founded in '79, and out of thousands and thousands of Ohio police officers, there's only 180 certified in this certified drug recognition expert. This program is one of the most difficult programs for law enforcement to join, and not all applicants are accepted. So phase 1 of this program is 16 hours of work, kind of as a preschool type work that happens before the actual class. You pass the exam with, you have to pass with 80% or better. And like I stated earlier, he was at 99.14 overall. The second phase of this program is 56 hours of work, and the candidate must also pass with 80% or better before moving to phase 3. And he participated in that with another 40 to almost 60 hours worth of work to get this certification. And I just want to shout out to Officer Matthew King on a job well done. There's also training that took place, and congratulations needs to go out to Sergeant Matthew Buzzard. He graduated from the Police Executive Leadership College in Dublin, Ohio on November 5th. Sergeant Buzzard joined the department in 2012 as a patrol officer, attained the rank of sergeant in 2017, is currently assigned to the position of administrative sergeant. 3 weeks of executive leadership training program spread over several months, and it's a 2-year wait list to get onto this program. This type of training benefits the entire community and our police department. Thank you. I appreciate the fact that you support the fact that training is important to our police officers, and that's very important to overall. I stated earlier that, one of the city's strengths is its people. We need to invest in those people. We need to continue that training and education. And speaking of training and education, I know, Mayor, you had mentioned Amber Hessig. She graduated from Walsh University, where she double majored in political science and criminal justice. She's interned for the Stark County Prosecutor's Office during her time in school. Amber started with the city back in June 2021 as a part-time administrative assistant in the office of the City Council. Now, during her time with the city, she's been a big help with several research projects, including calls for service analysis and the forthcoming ward redistricting program, as well as an incredible help in the ongoing records retention project. She has helped propel the legislation database forward, legislation up to the 1980s now being logged. And that's a lot of work, and having her on the team to do that is very much appreciated. Amber's leaving the city to begin law school at the University of Akron this January. Her dream is to be a prosecutor. We want to wish Amber the best of luck, and we want her to know that all her work for the city has been greatly appreciated. A special thank you to Amber and Ben for helping her with that project and keeping that going. It's a lot of work, but it benefits the city. So we appreciate the fact that you take somebody under your wing, not leadership role, helping them become better at what they're doing and continuing their education.
So she's been a huge help, and as I said in a previous council, I think last November, she passed me in her time with us, and I now need to catch up, so she has left out in the database building.
One of the assets we're going to miss. Great. Last thing I want to bring up is, we're all wearing masks tonight. Omicron variant is growing. Several people have been exposed and have had COVID. Glad you're back and healthy. But we're moving into the holiday season, and you're going to be closer to crowds and family. And I just ask everybody, be safe, be cautious. We want to see everybody back here next year.
No report on Ward 4. I just want to happy holidays and look forward to
I had an opportunity last week to tour Dogwood Park and see all of the improvements and renovations that are happening up close. I've been impressed. I drop my son to school every day and drive by and was impressed with that. But once I got to be on the ground and actually walk and take a look at all of the accessibility features and pieces that are in place, people are going to be blown away. This community is so happy. So I'm just really excited for children here, and this really will be a destination for others to come to North Canton to park. Catherine has done a great job, and Brian, all of you in administration. I was truly blown away, and I'm really, really excited about it. I'll be visiting the Parks Garage and Brian Hill in January. We couldn't fit it in last week, but I'm going to do that and just kind of get to know a little bit more about the work that he's doing, so I know what I'm doing in that area. And then also just, maybe not important, but when I drive through all the time, and it's gorgeous. Like what you guys have done with the lights, amazing. I drove through and I'm gorgeous. You've done a really nice job, and I think it matters when we go to other cities and see that stuff. It's exciting, and it's where you want to be. And so good job, guys. That's all.
Great. I don't know how far to go back. It's been a long time. Winterfest was amazing. We haven't really met since Winterfest. Christina and Patrick, congratulations on your awards at the chamber meeting. That was fantastic. I echo a lot of the sentiments that I said before. Amber, yes, it was fantastic. And you got to get her back. But have a happy holiday. Stay safe. Buy local. A motion in a second to conclude the agenda. Good.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.